Hello, my friends. Obviously, I am not at home, but I did happen to catch a little bit of Amber's live last night.
Well, it was the one that was on Tuesday.
I'm a night owl, I always have been. So once everybody went to sleep, I checked it out. And I didn't watch the whole thing, but there were a few parts that I did want to talk about. At one point, she shows her YouTube screen to prove that nobody's blocked. And you can see that she's like, well, she's not, I was going to say bending over backwards, but that's not it. But she's really trying hard not to show anything other than her screen. And I think that's because Romeo is over there by Wasabi, and she doesn't want to show Romeo for whatever reason. I think she knows the backlash that she would get for having a new kitten, especially when she's claiming that she is still in mourning over Rarity, which she said that too. Like she's still grieving and in mourning, but
Rarity's a banned word because people are very harsh. Like I have had like actual breakdowns in vlogs due to how much I miss her.
You sure about that?
And I miss her so much that like I'm grieving and mourning her and I just don't like what the internet has done with that and it just makes me kind of sick. So it's okay to talk about her, keep her memory. Oh, I talk about her in my real life, my personal life every single day. Every single day.
A bullshit? A bullshit.
here's the thing. She did not look for Rarity at all. She didn't spend a second looking for Rarity. Emily did all the work. So anyway, now she actually did sort of acknowledge Romeo, but not the kitten Romeo, just the name Romeo.
What were the names you had picked out if you had kids?
Ugh. Brother, ugh.
Adeline if it was a girl, and Romeo if it was a boy.
Somebody very cleverly, when they were talking about like baby names and stuff like that, said Romeo's a good name, and with a little bit of a smirk, a little bit of duper's delight, she says, "Oh, I love the name Romeo. I think that's a great name."
Romeo is a great name. I love that name a lot. Nap stream. Can I take a nap?
So yeah, she's trying to be coy, but I mean, she knows we know at this point. Like, who cares? Just show the kitten, you know. But her entire life, everything she does, every decision she makes, every moment of every day, all she's thinking about is how are people going to react? What is the internet going to say? And what a miserable existence, you know? Now, and I've said this several times, but our videos are not for her. However, we know she watches all the reaction channels all the time. It sounds like it's about all she does. So if she would listen, she might actually learn something, but she's such a narcissist, she won't. She won't ever take anybody else's advice. She thinks she knows everything. So it's never going to get any better. You know, if she had taken some advice at some point and changed her behavior and was less of a narcissist or whatever, if she was a little bit more honest, she might not get so much backlash. But as it stands, if she shares something on the internet that is not great, the internet will come for her. But of course, with her victim complex, she thinks it's just because she's fat or just because it's her. She thinks that we have just randomly, as a group, decided that she's the one we want to pick on for no reason. But that's obviously not the case. So yeah, she's always going to have to worry about showing a new kitten or showing Wasabi in a not great state or whatever because of her history. You know, she has earned that at this point. She has earned people calling her out because we know what happens to pets in her care. Or care. Another thing was the memberships. She's talking about getting another tier of memberships.
So right now I just have this membership going, which is the 9.99 a month. I'm also gonna have a second one. So you guys are gonna have the option to do this one or to do the 4.99 one because the 4.99 one is gonna make it to where I'm able to gift.
Oh yeah, that's for sure what it is. Just you want to gift memberships. Okay.
Gifting is your love language. I know it is. That's why I'm like, oh my God, I want to be able to gift members to people so bad.
Because the current price is $10 a month just to talk in her chat, which I don't know who's paying that, but what a bunch of idiots. But she's going to do a lower tier now, which I think is a sign that she is struggling maintaining her memberships, you know, or keeping members, which obviously I can't imagine anybody watching her for very long and not being bored to tears and thinking they're wasting their money. But whatever, she's gonna be starting a new tier. And somebody said, why not just have the $5 tier? And she tried to make it sound like she's making it easier for you. Oh, well, I don't want to make things difficult for you guys.
Why not just cancel the $10 one and only do the 5? It's the same. Because so many people are already attached to this one, and for me, I know I would hate to like have to undo it and then redo it, blah blah blah. So I just want to give people the option for a little bit.
And I just want to keep things easy breezy, beautiful cover girl, she says.
I'm just trying to make everything easy breezy, beautiful cover girl. Okay, trying very hard over here.
Hinting that she's trying to be altruistic. She's trying to make things easy for you to stay on her higher tier. And here's the thing. Obviously, she would rather people be on the $10 tier. And if she would just say that, then at least we could respect her for that, just being honest. But no, she is Amberlynn Reed. She has to pretend like what she's doing is making things easier for you and her, I think. I don't think she's necessarily saying that she's only trying to make it easier for her members. I think she's also trying to make it easier for herself. And then another really interesting thing she said was somebody asked, how did you really get Mr. Snowflake's info? And in her typical Amberlynn lying fashion, she starts saying, my friend.
So how did you really find Mr. Snowflake's info? So I have a friend.
A friend of mine, like, okay, did a reversal imaging search thing. I don't even know what that means or what it is. I've never even heard of it, but that, she's playing dumb, right?
I have a friend who, like I said, they did what is it called? Like image reverse search or whatever. Um, I don't know. So something about see, I don't want to get into it. I don't want to say anything I'm not supposed to say, so I'm not really gonna.
She basically says, my friend did a reverse image search. And then she says, plus, oh, you know what? Never mind. I can't say anything about it. Like,
So I think what she's doing here is trying to intimidate like reaction channels by saying, I have more at my disposal than just reverse image search. She's making it sound like she has some sort of detective work that she has access to. Almost like, you guys better not get on my bad side because I could find stuff out about you too. But the thing is, I think she actually did do some unethical stuff to get Snowflake's information.
so yeah, that's pretty freaking creepy, that she would go to whatever lengths she actually went to find Mr. Snowflake's information. And I know I made the video, the expose on Mr. Snowflake, and it was just a goof, just being silly. But what she did was kind of crossing the line a little bit. And there have been some people that went a little too far in finding out things about Amberlynn, and I can admit that sometimes people take it too seriously and go too far. But most of the trolling she gets and most of the things that have happened to her have been because of what she has said online. She gives all this information and then is surprised when people know it and use it, and then it ends up biting her in the ass because she is sharing way too much. Whereas Mr. Snowflake wasn't sharing that information and she went out of her way to find it. And like I said, there have been people that have gone too far in finding things about Amberlynn, and that's not cool either, but that's pretty rare. Most of the time, people just use her information that she gives against her. Another interesting thing she said was about Gracie. Somebody had mentioned, now you've lost 2 pets, and that's not great or whatever. And she was like, if you're talking about Gracie, I had nothing to do with that. And Gracie was Destiny's cat, and even Destiny says I had nothing to do with it.
Having 2 pets disappear is being an irresponsible owner. So I've only had 1 pet disappear, and it was Rarity. If you're talking about Gracie, that was not my pet, which I loved her dearly and I miss her.
Not bloody likely.
And B, it was like Destiny hates my guts, and Destiny has even confirmed that is nowhere near Amberlynn's fault. And I know people just love talking about that and like saying that, etc., because it's just fun to do. It was just 1 pet, and it's heartbreaking for sure.
And I was just thinking, I don't remember Destiny saying for sure Amber had nothing to do with it. From what I remember, the closest you could get to that was when Destiny basically said, I can't say for sure. I don't know. But Amber is claiming that Destiny has backed her up, saying that Amber had nothing to do with Gracie's disappearance. Now, I don't know that there's any like hard evidence for sure that she did, but I mean, come on. There were so many circumstantial things that happened at that time, and now that we know, because Studio Deets did a deep dive on the timeline, we now know that there was just a few days between when Gracie went missing and when Amber got Wasabi. And Amber had already been saving up for the cat while they still had Gracie. So it was, in fact, go watch that Studio Deets video about Gracie, because it was eye-opening, and Studio Deets did a really good job of kind of making that timeline really easy to read and follow and stuff. So if anything crazy happens, I'll pop in every so often this week, but obviously I'm just enjoying myself, and I will for sure see you whenever I get back. I appreciate you guys so much. See you in the next one. Take care.